Hello, Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I am the Nightwing, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. So I know it's been a little bit since I've actually talked about the LCS and the LCK and the LEC. All of that stuff is coming up during this week. All of the League of Legends content is returning. I am back in at full force. I never even took a break. It was just more like, life got in the way with a lot of busy stuff. And you guys know I'm obviously focused on the main channel as well that I do for my own personal self, for it that is, always constantly growing and constantly getting up there and stuff like that. And I want this channel to be the same way. Like, I really do care for League of Legends a lot, and I really do care for all of that stuff in general. And I haven't got a chance to really break down the LCS weeks like I've been doing for the EU LCS, and LCK still kind of not been there yet, but I am gonna bring it back. Don't worry about that at all. We have Rift Rivals coming up, and another little announcement I want to make is I'm probably gonna end up doing my own version of the same thing that G-Bay does with his League of Legends podcast, where he just kind of talks about League in general. I think I'm eventually gonna do that. I don't know when, but I think that would be a good thing to do overall in general for you guys, kind of like how all they do, like the dive and stuff like that. I think that's just another good thing to do for League, because a lot of people like League of Legends and they've always liked talking about little things that involve League of Legends. But let's see how these teams are panning out going into Rift Rivals. I think that when you look at the teams the way they are, I'm going to start with Cloud9 because obviously they're my team and I obviously love them a lot. They're my League of Legends team along with G2, and they're going to be at the same event, and some people are going to be like, MSK, not MSK, that's my other name for my other channel, Nightwing. How are you going to, fight against G2 and Cloud9? It's gonna be pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. But if I had to really pit them against each other, you guys will see that prediction in Rift Rivals. And yes, I will be previewing Rift Rivals, the matches, everything. Can NA take down EU? I don't think so, but that can all but change, because Rift Rivals is seen more or less so as a fun event, so don't really take it personally too serious, all things considered. NA won 2017, EU won 2018. Let's see who can win it for 2019, obviously. Let's go. Let's start with the LCS. I can start with Cloud9, but I'm going to save them for a little bit. All right, so let's start with the bottom teams. Okay, let's start with FlyQuest. I know a lot of people are kind of surprised that FlyQuest, really have not been what they were in spring. You have to understand, this is something that FlyQuest do all the time. FlyQuest is always like this. They have a pretty much middle to average tier roster that surprisingly does pretty well in spring, when other rosters haven't gelled together that have the better rosters. Then when the better rosters come together and their players gel together, FlyQuest looks worse subjectively. It's not because they're bad, it's because the better players finally started playing better. Let me give you an example. Back in 2017 spring, this happened with FlyQuest. Remember how they kind of just fell off a cliff? They got 4th place and then they just literally just fell off a cliff. It's because of that reason. Everybody else that was better than them just played at that standard that we know that they could play at. FlyQuest is a little bit different this split. Obviously, they do have some better players in their positions, but still, if these better players just play better on these other rosters, you knew eventually. It's basically like, what I'm going to say is the clock struck midnight on their little Cinderella story. It always strikes midnight for them. Now, I think they're currently sitting at like 1-6. I'm not too sure about that. They only got 1 win. They're literally at the bottom of the standings. It's just so like, none of the team is playing good. Like, I don't care if it's what Viper said, like, they lost trust in each other, more or less so that, Wadid came in a little bit late. Wadid has been pretty new to the roster so far. I don't want to give him any criticism yet. I do feel like a lot of people always say that he's, a good support. He's really not. Like, Yarnan, I'm a G2 fan, and I can tell you from watching that year that Yarnan and Wadid were their bot lane. They were not a good bot lane. I don't care what people say. You're not watching the games. You're watching what you want to watch, but you're not watching the gameplay. And people always create this weird narrative that they're not bad players. And here, let me just spit some facts for you. If they were good players that were top tier star players in their role, why did G2 kick them? You give me that reason, you give me a logical answer, and then I'll believe you. Don't give me the Caps answer. Don't give me the Caps answer. Why didn't they keep Wadid and Yarn in? If they were good players, you obviously want to keep your good players and sign them, right? Yeah, miss me with that. That's not true. Don't make fake narratives for people that are just not that good. That's really just because people want to say people like Sneaky is bad, but someone like Yarnin, really? Come on, stop. Okay. So yeah, that's how FlyQuest I'm seeing them as. They just really don't know what to do anymore. Like their players, like I said before, are just average players at the end of the day. Like Santorin, I do believe has become really good, but he's like a needle in a haystack at the moment. Like he's also himself struggling to a certain extent, and you know you have the teams with the better players, which I'm gonna lead into the next team. Eventually, it's gonna obviously correlate back to what I'm saying about FlyQuest. Echo Fox, I could care less what they do, honestly. Lost sucks. Yusui, he's not that good. I don't know where people think that Yusui's been good. Yeah, he could have been the mid laner for Cloud9 back in 2015. And yeah, I could be in Japan right now selling, I don't know, anime waifu posters, but that's not the case, right? So yeah, another narrative people like to focus on, but you have to understand, if he really could have taken that spot, that would have happened. And that's something that you have to understand really doesn't pan out for the long term. Looking at Echo Fox, I think they don't really, I don't think they're planning for this season to be all that productive like it was last split, where they had a really good, nice run towards almost first in the regular season, and then they had a nice run toward the very end where they almost upset TSM in the quarterfinals back in summer. I just don't think that it's really going to pan out well for them, all things considered. It just really looks like they don't care too much anymore. And now that might be because of the whole Rick Fox, fiasco behind the scenes, but it just looks like the overall roster of the team is just very content with where they're at. Looking at Phoenix and Rush, they just, I don't know where these players are doing. I feel bad for Solo. The time Solo actually is being a good player, he's getting cucked by Apollo, Hakuo, and the rest of the team. I wouldn't put too much emphasis on Echo Fox. I would just let them, stay as they are. It's just not really not going to be anything meaningful or productive moving forward. So that's how I feel about them. So those are the two bottom tier teams. Considerably so, 100 Thieves is the bottom tier team. They got an upset against Cloud9. I like the way they're finally starting to play the game. I feel like Bang and Afremu finally are doing anything, but I do want to keep an open mind that they could still theoretically fall off. Look at the last 100 Thieves roster. They got up to 4 wins and then went completely downhill. So, obviously, I'm not going to throw shade at anybody, but what I'm saying is keep a very clear, open mind that they could indirectly fall off. Remember, Fake God is one of the worst LCS top laners so far. He's been playing really bad. He's been playing pretty bad. Don't make it seem like he's playing good, because obviously he got some wins. Watch the games. He's been playing pretty bad. Ryu's looked pretty good coming back in, actually, after he's been kind of revigorized, taking a split off. Amazing's looked pretty decent for them. I think he's been their best performing player. Bang and Afremo still are okay. I think that they could improve a lot more, but it's looking like an uphill trajectory for them. But I want to say, keep an open mind. Okay, 100 Thieves is done. Optic, this week they had some roster issues because Crown was sick. He said his back was hurting, so Scarlet played. Scarlet did pretty good. Him and his team managed to take down TSM. Optic looked pretty good, all things considered. Like I said before, I really want you guys to keep an open mind with Optic and keep the fact that this could be a team that barely squeaks into playoffs. I feel like all of their issues are starting to get exposed, even from when they started at 4-0. And I think that, you have to look at them and go, okay, they're doing good right now. Let's see if it continues. Because we've seen this happen with teams in traditional sports, and esports. We have these random bad teams that tend to do pretty well during certain periods of time. But then we know, at a certain point, it's going to crash and burn. It just all depends on when. It all depends on when. All right, so that's Optic. CLG have been looking pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Wiggly looks like to be a small MVP caliber candidate. I feel like Power View is playing pretty well. I feel like Ruin has been a clear step up from Darshan, as most people already would have anticipated. You have the bot lane playing pretty decent. You have a pretty decent overall team. I feel happy for the CLG fans. They're really happy with how the split's going so far. I like that as well for them. It really did suck seeing them have fallen so far low. But keep an open mind. You have to understand they need to build that credit back up as being a good team again. They can't just get credit for having a few wins, you know. So that's how I feel about CLG right now. They had a pretty good week, all things considered. They got blasted by Cloud9, but then they blasted the team that they beat. So probably a lot of work still still there to be done, but we'll see how it goes. All right. Whew, this is going to be a really big of a doozy. All right, so let's go with this one. Optic, you have Golden Guardians. Looking pretty solid, all things considered. I think that Golden Guardians' biggest problem is that they're draft dependent. Based off like what draft they get, they either feed really hard or they're going to just basically look like Cloud9, and all those things kind of always juggle to being a bunch of randomness, which I don't personally like, but it's okay. I like that their two new coaches found a way to actually get the team to where it needs to be. I still feel like their bot lane is not that good. Like, nothing you're going to say is going to convince me that that's going to be the case. Froggen, Haunter, and Contracts are all playing pretty decently, all things considered. I think Froggen is one of the most best performing mid laners of the split so far, along with Crown and Bjergsen. And, you know, that's just how I've currently been seeing them so far. So Golden Guardians have been looking on the uphill, but like I said before, they made playoffs last split, and they could theoretically get semifinals. I could see them upsetting a random team in playoffs, potentially, if they get if a random top 3 team get in there. I could see it happening. I could definitely see them upsetting like a TSM or a TL, but that is dependent on them getting that place. So let's see how that pans out moving forward. And then it all comes full circle. It comes to the top 3 in North America. Well, let's see where it's gonna be at. Because you thought I forgot. Clutch. Clutch is pretty much like. Do you guys remember Rocat from season 8 of the EU LCS, like spring and summer? That they're literally just like them. They're a 1-1 team, highly inconsistent, highly good on some days, highly bad on some days. They're literally Rocat. That's literally what they are. I think they have better caliber players than that Rocat lineup had, but that doesn't really matter per se. You know, you have people saying that Piglet and Cody Sun's switch was more of a side grade for the roster. That's an interesting notion. I still don't feel like Cody Sun is giving them anything more than Piglet did, but obviously a difference in playstyle is very interesting. I feel like that Cody Sun is a better fit for the team, as he's a better non-resource heavy ADC. Piglet's very aggressive, takes up a lot of resources, which can hurt by giving them to other players, but they're just a highly inconsistent team. Like, that's all I've gotten from them. Like, they're literally just Rocat. Like, it's pretty much what they are. And then now you have the top 3. So let's talk about the top 3. Cloud9. I know a lot of people have been throwing shade at Reaper and stuff like that and saying, oh, draft, blah, 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 blah. Theoretically, I kind of know how Cloud9 splits generally go at this point. Yeah, you've had some pretty bad splits. Every team has had pretty bad splits. So don't just put that all on Cloud9 and be like, oh, they've only had bad splits. Miss me. You remember those TL relegation splits? I do. I've been watching the league that long. And I've been watching the league longer than that. So don't try that with me. Okay, so let's see where I can kind of bridge this at. I think the bulk of them are playing good, not like superstar performance. I feel like Licorice and Svenskeren have been playing absolutely amazing. I feel like Svenskeren should be an MVP candidate. I know that's not me saying that because he's on the team that I like. I'm saying that because I'm watching his gameplay. He's playing really well. I feel like he should be an MVP candidate so far. I also think that Licorice has been playing pretty good. A lot of people have been saying he's looked lackluster since spring. Like, wait, whoa. Licorice has looked lackluster? Oh, he got solo killed by Viper. What did he do in that game when he got solo killed by Viper? I saw him roaming around the map, winning team fights, and solo killing the jungler. I mean, if we're going to throw shade at somebody, I mean, at least throw all the shade, and don't just leave out the parts where don't just leave out parts because you want to make him look bad. That's not cool. Alright, I'm just saying. He's looked pretty good to me. I feel like Sneaky and Zeyzal need to get their footing back. Like, they were a good, consistent bot lane. Keep your good consistency. Don't lose your good consistency. That's what's making you good, you know. Niski looked kind of lackluster. You know, I don't want to be too harsh on him, but he's looked really lackluster. I don't know how he's going to fare against Caps, Nuke Duck, and Nemesis, 'cause even Nemesis is looking better, and that's saying something. So yeah, Niski, you're gonna have to improve, my brother. You know, I like y'all, I like you and all, but you know, you gotta step up, man. You know, you were on that Splice roster last year. Come on, man. I know you can do better. I know Niski can do better. I know the whole roster can do better. I know that people like to throw shit at them and be like, well, they're this, and this. I mean, let TSM and TL, they have something that Cloud9 has achieved that they'll never have. Let's see TL and TSM get top 4 at Worlds. I don't care about easy groups. I don't care about none of that. Those narratives, I'll break all that down much later on when we get closer to Worlds about easy groups and stuff like that. But hey, they got it. They didn't. Let them. Who's always the last hope for North America? Oh yeah, Cloud9. There's my point. Man, who's always the last hope for North America? I mean, it's always the guys in blue. No, it's not TL. It's a guy on Cloud9. They're the last hope for North America. The best team in North America. The one that's got the achievements. I don't care about splits. Cloud9 has 2 splits. Why do you need more trophies for? If you can't prove anything international, your trophies mean nothing. Yeah, domestic success means something in terms of getting sponsors, you know, more people to buy into your brand. I understand that. I'm not a moron. Proven Worlds? One wise man told me that Worlds is one of the best tournaments for League, and that's true. Everybody during the year for League preps for Worlds. What's the end goal? Winning Worlds. Here, let me say it again. What's the end goal of for League? It's winning Worlds. There you go. What do you hear constantly throughout the year? Winning Worlds. There you go. And what does Cloud9 did? They've achieved something that TL and TSM will never have. There you go. End of that so far. But that's how I feel about Cloud9. I really do feel and hope that they can prove that they're still the best, that they're still the best international thing for North America. I really do hope that they can do some fight against those teams. We're gonna have the perennial Cloud9 versus Fnatic rivalry, man. I am so hyped for that, for Cloud9 getting the rematch against Fnatic. I want to smash them fools for after making us look like clowns last year. But moving on to TSM. I'm really indifferent about them. Like I said in me and JTH's North American LCS preview, why'd you have TSM lower than Cloud9? You're just a Cloud9 fanboy. Not true. I said they would lose more games swapping out junglers like that. I literally said that. Now, I think that they're gonna lean more towards Grig personally, because he's been playing a lot better. But let's see how they play Acadian and Grig at Rift Rivals. Overall, the team's been playing pretty well, all things considered. You've had Smoothie and Sven playing pretty well. You got Bjergsen playing at his MVP quality performance like he always plays at. It's just pretty much the basic team, all things considered. That's pretty much it. Broken Blade has looked a little bit more less, a little bit not less like his top laner performance, but but you can see it's still there. Like you can see that he's still playing really good. I really do hope TSM can do really well at Rift Rivals. I know people don't take it seriously, but be honest with yourself here, guys. This is the best quality of games you're gonna get mostly all year, not counting Worlds, obviously. TL still looking overall pretty good. They had a bit of their slump at the first beginning of the split. But that's because probably that they were due to them being like jet lagged and not jet lagged.
We just got our first family car.
Oh my goodness! So sorry about that. It's probably due to them most likely being kind of burned out about the game. That's how I've currently seen it. So we're gonna have to see how they pick up for Rift Rivals, because they were at Rift Rivals last year, and you know I'm pretty sure they want to kind of make a stomp that okay, we're not as bad as the way G2 made us look at MSI. So that's it for North America pretty much. I think that the whole of TL is playing decent. They're not playing at their superstar level yet. I think that Core JJ and Double haven't looked as dominant, but I think that it's a good call to see where they're potentially going to go. So I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm the Nightwing signing out and this has been my thoughts and opinions on the LCS Week 4. I'm going to be doing my thoughts for LEC, my thoughts for Korea, and then I'm going to be doing my Rift rival predictions. So lots of content coming out, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos as you like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye. Have a good day, and may the Riventh be with you.